Okay, drinks and join us. Okay, we're gonna go down to the shit. Put your protections up. So we're going to the rabbit hole into the insane asylum of this reality. I figure Britney Spears is a good start. Of course, it's Lady Gaga, but Britney Spears, even just that name, Britney Spears is kind of like a mind control energy connected to it. So hopefully this won't get. Hopefully YouTube won't get mad about all of this, but we'll find out. So it's like MK Ultra. Britney Spears' name in general is basically like an MK. It might as well be an MK Ultra program at this point. Even I would say even the name Britney in general is not the best vibration anymore. It's kind of hard to that name. At least those that are controlling her, because you think like Britney Spears would step down, shave her head, go live in the country, and just you know disappear. That would be the way to go. But instead, she's brought into the public every now and then. Through her problems, there's still mind control there, major mind control. And I think there's a thing about Elton John that shows you where he is. And I'm not that big a fan of Elton John, so there's another mind control program there. Maybe I'll go into that tomorrow. But the music industry, just like religion, just like politics, is the seed of darkness. That doesn't mean it's all darkness, but quite a bit of it is where evil, successful evil, maintains itself. It's funny when they talk about people that are successful. It's like, how much do they sell themselves out? Do they even have a soul anymore? And a lot of that started in the 1950s. Of course, that's been around for a long time. So become successful, sell yourself out, be a good human, and so on. It's not always like that, but there's a great deal of that going on. So the music industry and EMI records, I think there's like Asylum Records, but I have to look them up again. But I didn't find a whole lot on them. I have to look again. But EMI is another, executive. Like I say, it's not all bad. It's just mostly bad. It's like our political realm. It's mostly, parasites, basically. The music realm is interesting because people with their kids, just here you go, here's some music and enjoy your mind control. Even Barney is mind control, which is kind of messed up. Have all things Barney. You think Barney would be like, friendly and all that? It's far from it. So yeah, we're going to go into the a little bit of the music industry energy, not too deeply. Britney Spears energy, her higher self, I think it's like gone. It's like whatever is there. It's more like you just have mind control agents there at this point. There's probably a person there somewhere, probably, but there's just it's like a walking billboard. It's just walking, talking, advertisement. It doesn't even have to advertise. It doesn't have to put music out there really. Just to be, because so many people want to be like her, which is kind of messed up. And I would say there's also like a Nordic program there, a Palladian Nordic program to just get people to change their ways, change their looks to somebody like that, live that lifestyle, and so on. It's kind of messed up when you think about it. Lovely. And the Arcturian energies will tap into them to get their point of view. Yeah, I can get kind of heated with this type of topic. It's it's just cloning energies are connected to it. People say there's no cloning. It depends on what level of level you're at. You could say most of the music industry is clone. It's like a clone world, basically. Depending on where you're at on vibrational wise. Like that, this is a lot. This is going to be a lot for some to take in. So Just go back, be a human, be a slave to the system, and everything is fine. That's usually where that's the safe zone. Just shut yourself down and be a human. That's the best place to be. Because when you start breaking all this stuff down, and then you have agents, you have reptilian beings that attack you, at least on a fourth dimensional level, dark entities attack you, things like that. And you have obviously your average persons are going to believe it. A long ways to go. Yeah, humanity has a long ways to go, that's for sure, unfortunately. All right, we're going to Avatar Economic Private Sessions schedule. We have the shop here. It's slow. I'm somewhere. I can't even think where I'm at right now. Same situation here. We have the webinar. We have social network behind the scenes. And then you have yeah, these are the other ones that are kind of big. I thought Asylum Records is here somewhere, but maybe not. Anyway, you have your so this is EMI. I don't know. I think I'm not sure where they are, but I don't know who half these guys are. I've never heard of any of these people. I just know to go to EMI. So you can scroll down a little bit. Justin Bieber was here somewhere. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I just saw that. And there's bands I've never had. Stone. I've heard of Beck. Yeah, he's taken over. There's no doubt about that. And not all of these guys are taking over. I imagine some of these, the ones that you never heard of, aren't so controlled on. Yeah, Kerry Wood, no doubt. Violet Days, I don't know who that is. But anyway. Either way, the executives behind this company obviously don't have the best frequency. Yeah, there's a lot of Illuminati energies here. Yeah, is that Rihanna? Oh, jeez. Level 8. Even this one, right? Metallica, jeez. Metallica's involved with them, so this has a little bit of, what the fuck is that? That doesn't look like it's even human. I don't think it is. Nothing to prove will. I don't know what that is. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, sex magic going on. I guess Taylor Swift is Taylor Swift, whatever her name is involved with it. Yeah, so even obviously the album covers, even this, yeah, there's some kind of mind control going on there. Bon Jovi, unfortunately. Oh, that's an old one. These are all old or new. Anyway. Yeah, Taylor Swift is pretty much, she's like a wannabe. She's not at the level that she could be at, but she's similar to like a Britney Spears in a lot of ways. So, yeah, it's so yeah, the music industry is there to block you from your chakras, disconnect you from spirit, connect you to their version of spirit, connect you to Anunnaki programming unit, gives you to think a certain way so they can have you under control. If they can't control you through religion, they connect you through music. So basically just for you to be chaotic. At least that's part of it. Of course, there's music out there to clear you from chaos, but part of it is a program chaos into your system, which happens when you have a kid. It's a perfect place to do that. Britney Spears is the perfect one for that. She lives a life of chaos. So Marilyn Manson has a life of chaos also. So it's basically they're just opening that dimension within people to add that to their own reality. And of course, your average person is not going to understand. It's going to just, I don't know what you're talking about. This is normal, and it's not. So like I said, Britney Spears just has, there's a lot of Anunnaki. She's basically a ritual being. She just does rituals for people now. And even her personal life is a ritual. So, yeah, she's basically part of the system. Like I said, if she shaved her head and lived out in the country, it'd be a different story. I just did something different. You can still retain your looks, but just break out of the system. Obviously, it's going to follow her everywhere she goes. Like if you leave like California and go live somewhere else, at least you're breaking away from the system, or move somewhere in California where it's not so have an impact. There's ways of disconnecting yourself from it, but you're not into that. Obviously, the music executives, yeah, a lot of them are not human. A lot of them are reptilian, and a lot of them don't have a soul. And then you talk about Eminem being a clone and all that. A lot of these music executives that you would never see they're like vessels, but they get into high places. They're so-called intelligent, but they're just basically who's the best at manipulating our reality. So yeah, it's like mind control at a whole nother. It's like basically like the modern sirens. At least the musicians that even Rihanna has a siren type of energy connected to her. It's like connected to a creature, basically, like you see in Greek mythology. There's a lot of similarities to that. So you have like modern sirens that people are just. I mean, yeah, you can't, especially when you're putting your kids in front of this stuff. They're just screwed. Pretty much, unless they're already born to break away from the mind control. Most aren't. So yeah, like one kid that can program other people. It might not be music is kind of like a version of religion to a certain level. It can be religious. So anyway, all right, what's happened to the vibrations of Britney Spears and her mind control? I don't want to get into her higher self. I don't think there is a higher self there. There might be a higher self there. It's not much of one. It feels like it's more of like an agent of chaos is there. I mean, she's completely gone. From what I can feel here, I mean, you can help her all you want, but I don't know if it's kind of like when you're in the spotlight all the time, even if you're not making music, there's stuff going on there. I don't know, man. The music industry and of course Hollywood in general, yeah. I mean, they sell their souls to this stuff. Of course, Britney, I've always felt, at least a certain level, that she was hijacked from another reality somewhere and brought here, and they're just messing with her hijacked version of it. Of course, she tried to break free of it a while back. She's not doing a very good job. It's like she can't stay out of the system. Some of it has to do with just the lifestyle of it. So yeah, so we're going to the music industry, the executives also. I mean, just realize what you're getting yourself into. It's no different than church music. I mean, there's a lot of mind control in church music. And you just have your so-called, your music out, your rebellious music, your reptilian programming. Yeah. So, well, there's nothing wrong with enjoying this stuff. If you're not being programmed by it, if you can enjoy it that way, that's great. But a lot of people get programmed by it. Yeah, if you can listen to it and not get programmed, go for it. But most people are not. They just get pulled right into it. It's like a tornado. It's like a musical tornado comes in, it gets swept into it, and they're gone. And they're just completely under control for the whole rest of their lives. And they call us crazy for tapping into this stuff. It's like, okay. Then they do psychedelics and see reptilian beings and grays and all that. It's like, what the fuck? You can sometimes see the beings that are controlling it. How about that? So, all right. So we're going to so I might do some more of this music industry stuff. Something different. It does need to be tapped into. I mean, I've done some religious stuff. I'm kind of careful about that. I've done some of it. I don't want to get too deep in. Music seems like it's a bit more open for a beating, you can say. There's always criticism or something like that, tapping into it. Religion, obviously, that's where people can get crazy with that. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. So, all right. So we're going to the Mind Control MK Ultra that's going on. The wonderful world of mind control of Britney Spears, or just mind control in general. So, all right, blessings. There we and do Arcturians later on if I got any energy after this. Sorry, blessings. Brings you the consciousness of yes, MK Ultra energies. Basically, is to take free will, where the human is allowing it to be taken. There is some Archon energies there. Some of this is artificial intelligence. So basically, yes, there's a program of music individuals that just have a singing voice. Basically, a lot of it's just artificial intelligence. And your human race obviously is having trouble digesting it. Well, if you're under the program, under the spell, it's not the easiest to break out of, especially when you're a defenseless human trying to make it in the world. And you feel like you're in a world that, yes, difficult, but still you can find the high life here. That's what they want you to think. That you can live, the peaceful life, and then you find out you start disconnecting from all of these programs, especially in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a hub of all this mind control. It's one of them. San Francisco has some of it, but Los Angeles basically is not even Los Angeles. There's other dimensions, other realms that are connected to it. It's basically like soul catching energies there. So for those of you that are opening up more of your abilities to want to basically unmask this reality. And you'll get more used to seeing like some of these musicians, yes, as reptilian beings, as for what they truly are. Similar to like Adele. Adele is just a massive energy. Even her weight was kind of massive because she's a big star. She has to be a big person to put that frequency out. Of course, she changed her weight a little bit, but still a massive energy, massive mind control around that. Basically, a calculated creation. Basically, these beings are doing everything they can to keep you confused, as you can see. And some of you might be seen as crazy, opening, looking at things differently. Over time, your average person will start to see this too. It's like, because people know, they just don't know. They haven't been given like the trigger of like, you know what, maybe you were right about that. Maybe Britney Spears is a reptilian being or whatever being she is, a lizard being, a lizard seductress frequency. It's like, but you don't know because you have not been, that door within yourself has not been fully open, and it all just starts to flood out. It's like, whoa, if that person's under that type of control, who else is? And it goes on and on. It's Miley Cyrus. There's a lot of insectoid energies around that, of course. It's basically there. I mean, you have alien beings trying to learn from your society. They can program you, but as they program society, they learn from you. It's kind of like you're giving your power away. As you take it back, you start to see it more clearly. It does feel like you're in a science fiction movie, but you kind of already are with technology everywhere. They put you right in front of you. It doesn't mean that like some person would turn mechanical on you. Well, then again, they could. Like a musician can start looking like a robot in front of you. It's like, am I just seeing things? It's like, no, you're not. You're seeing basically, the true reality that's here. Yeah, they can only do it for so long. And some of you might see, like I say, you might be seen as crazy, start to dilute your reality, but in the truth, it is extremely real. And your society has been programmed for such a long time. They've become used to it. But you also come in an era that you don't need to live this anymore. Look at how a lot of your wars have started, and you're not going to the same wars anymore because you've seen what started them and you're avoiding those conflicts. Well, now it goes into the culture war. You're starting to see beyond that. Now, you might not know, obviously, many people might not always believe there's alien beings here unless society starts seeing it more. Yeah, they have to see it to believe it. But you talking about it does make it more clear, and then it becomes normal. And then they can't control your society anymore, and the system eventually starts to break down. So the world doesn't just heal itself; you just decode what's here. So the mind control around Britney Spears, realize a lot of these alien beings are manipulating your reality. They're just seeing what they can get away with, and they are amazed they can get away with what they're doing. But they realize people need to learn from them too. You're learning from each other, and they do make things very difficult here. Well, a lot of these beings, once they make it difficult here, once you figure them out, they kind of lost their purpose, and they can't do it anymore. So people like Britney Spears can't happen anymore. They can't control your society as they used to. As more people start to realize the system that's happening here. Obviously, there's much more details, but just let you connect to what you want to connect to. But yes, and some of these alien beings are laughable, meaning that you can say they find humor in all this to a certain level, but I mean, they themselves find a lot of darkness. A lot of these beings that manipulate your reality don't always think that they're dark until they start realizing how they're causing harm to society. Then they start to wake up within themselves. So, and you've probably heard that one before. And they're going to hear more of that. The beings that control your reality, and this is a church ministers and so on, they feel like they're doing you justice. And it's like they don't always know that they're the bad guy, and you're here to show them that they are. And that's going to be a snowball effect when those that are controlling your society start to realize who they are. And your world's going to start to break apart, and for the better, though. And some of you feel like relief. You feel the stress around yourself breaking down, and you finally can think more clearly because the mind control is not as strong as it used to be. So that's what you're working towards. And it's not an easy one. Yes, they go for the mind. The mind is the most vulnerable spot, and you have not been taught how to protect it. You're learning, but if you're taught how to protect it as a child, none of this would be happening right now. So, things. Brings you, the consciousness of the music industry. Yes, the mind can. Yes, one soul scrapping beings or soul energy that do take on souls to absorb them. So you have a word for it, but souls grabbing, soul snatching, stealing, whatever word you want to use. That is the music industry, portions of it, not all of it. Because they're doing what they want. Yes, the dark entity connected to the lower frequencies. Not all music is like this, of course. Well, the music is there to seduce you, to pull you down into the lower realms, to capture you here, to keep you here forever as long as they can. So that's why so many souls get depressed and self-destructive. It's not always because of the music, but it can be the music. It's just that so many souls are confused here. The chaos of the mind. And so other people can feel it, and they start going into depression also. It's basically how long can they hold you down? How long they can hold this planet down? And the beings that are doing this aren't that sophisticated. It's just that they're very good at controlling planets. Most of them are parasitic beings. Usually they have 3 or 4 arms. Or they're usually insectoid beings. And that's what their purpose is. So when you learn their purpose, basically remove the parasite, then you have a new Earth. It's not going to be the easiest, though. Well, because they absorb themselves into the music industry, as you can see. So basically, disclosure about the music industry, scandals coming out, so all these truths, people aren't quite ready for this, but slowly, and that's all through entertainment. That's pretty much disclosure and everything. If one industry goes down, they all have to go down. That goes with religion, politics. Politics is no different. Is that you have these different influence your economy system. As you know, has this, it's all parasitic. and it can all come down. Now, not to put worry that you'll like implode with it all. No. But you will see some implosion that will occur, and you can stand out of the rubble if you want to. So you can't avoid the destruction of these industries. Now, when it is occur, it can occur. When is no set date, but it can occur. And when it does, those of you who are in the awakened state, most likely you'll just stand, you'll see the building fall down, basically, the structure of all this, but you'll be outside of it. But others will fall with it. And it's like that's where your work continues, not to necessarily save the souls. If they don't want to be saved, it's hard to save a soul. But some of you do have loved ones connected to these energy fields, and you don't want to let them go. Doesn't mean you have to pull down with them. But seeing all these infrastructures break down, like I said, we don't have a timeline for it, but as many are, seeing more of the spiritual side of it and just talking crazy, but you are seeing it through your third eye, through your energy field. Some say their third eye is blocked, but then again, you connect to the vibrations of it. You see like reptilian vortex. It's not all reptilians that are doing this. It's just, when you're good at something, you just do it. It's not all of them. It's a big part of it. A lot of them are humans that turn against humanity. You see this all the time in your businesses, at least your corporations. Humans against humans, which is really hard. That's the hardest one. And one thing if you have an alien manipulating your reality, but if you have a human that's going against humans, like something you would see out of a movie. It's happening though. You're experiencing it now, and you can feel it. So that's the thing. When you have this empathic ability, you feel the agendas, and that's the hardest part about being here. But also, you're going through those agendas. You're clearing them. It's just not easy. Others ignore it. Others just go. They want to live a happy life here, and they can somehow ignore all of this to a certain level. But then their health starts to decline. Cancers can occur, things like that. So some of these executives are soul catchers themselves. They're shadow beings, some of them. And you can know, just like you shake their hands like, wow, I just shook hands in the darkness. So, yes, and they put up this, wealth and millions of dollars and all of this because they're kind of empty inside, basically. But they have to put on this show. But there's really an empty vessel there. Not always, but normally it is. Depends on the situation. Grace you with Arcturians, blessings. So some are wondering, probably most likely, about the timelines of when all this starts to break down. So people are waiting for massive rest and things like that, or waiting for all these systems to implode. That will take some time. But some of you can tap into the timelines of when it will occur, because these industries aren't always aware that some are looking for their expiration date. So sometimes they have their expiration date out in the open, not even realizing they don't think anyone's looking. So it doesn't, some of these companies, these corporations, they'll take probably 100 years for them to collapse. But as you go into more of a spiritual vibration of basically wanting all these systems to break down, they feel it. All of them, individuals involved with this. Of course, there's some that are kind of like a victim energy that is connected to the Britney Spears. Not to say she's bad, but there's a lot of systems programming that person. So, but you can say you're part of. It's kind of like a movie. It's like you save the person that's being hijacked. They're jacked into the system, but you can't mess with it too much because it'll cause harm to the person. So you have to remove the tentacles and all this stuff slowly. So you can say that's what's happening now. So on a spiritual development you're going to, it's basically your intuition. Where is it guiding you to dissect? Is it the music industry? Is it politics? Wherever it is. And you see more of why you're here. Some of you are involved with all these things, and you wonder why you're going crazy. Well, you're here to, expose them, and on a spiritual level. Yeah, if you do it on a physical level, obviously it's a losing game. You can create picket fences and or picket signs and all of that, and they want that chaos. But if you say like the industries are ran by reptilian beings, obviously people won't take that seriously. But on a spiritual level, you like talk to it telepathically. It's like I know what kind of beings you are and all that. Obviously, it doesn't like that. But that's really the way to go for now, at least. And eventually, obviously, government systems and all that. They do hear your voices for sure. You're not always sure. I mean, you're doing this on an astral level, so on a physical level, you might not be thinking about, but astrally, you're very much involved. Those that you know what you want to bring down, like you don't need these. Obviously, this war isn't all for all of you. So here, but some of you are, like say, fighting everything, and you can probably feel it. So certain systems that you're breaking down, obviously some are making their livelihoods and all that. So that's why you do it on a vibrational level, and that's why timelines matter. Yeah, you just like want these systems to implode, but in a way where in the right way. That's what's happening right now. This has been happening for some time, but more of it's coming into the light.